There is someone actively promoting a potential scam to the Terra Luna Classic community. We need to talk about who this is, what they're doing, and why it's so wrong. Now, the account question is Luna Classic HQ. This is one of the most followed accounts in the Terra Luna Classic community with over 110,000 followers on Twitter. Now, if you've seen this account, you've probably seen this kind of an update that they do. They do the different burn updates where they have this little fire going on, and it's the total burned LUNC, total burn UST. This is probably what you have seen if you have seen this account. So the thing in question from Luna Classic HQ is a newly launched token called Whales Club that they've been promoting. You can see an example right here of a tweet of theirs where they're promoting it, trying to create some FOMO, saying don't miss this opportunity to make more profit, best time to buy, all this kind of wording that try to create FOMO and interest in the token. Maybe not the worst thing, a little bit iffy wording, but let's go on from that. What we found is way worse than this. If we check the website for Whales Club, I'll show you that in just a second, we can see the allocation is clearly laid out. There's 1 quadrillion total supply, so really high total supply. 80% are supposed to be locked, 10% allocation for centralized exchanges, and 10% allocation for pancake swap specifically. Now let's go to their website. Here's their website. You can see these tokenomics. Now, if you've ever looked at a website or a white paper for cryptocurrency, you know that right off the bat, this is a little sus. Like, you expect to have a lot more detail than this when it comes to tokenomics. This is the entire tokenomics section. So you can see the total supply number right here, and then it breaks it down. So we have this purple is supposed to be locked. Locked right here, it says locked should be 80% of the total supply. Allocations for centralized exchanges should be another 10%, and then PancakeSwap another 10%. So, okay, not a ton of detail, not a bunch of different breakdowns. How much is going to the team? Normally you'd see that kind of a thing. You don't see it here. So maybe some questions left, kind of vague, but okay, let's roll with this here. The issue here is that they did not follow this allocation that they lined out. And what we can see by clicking on some of these transactions is that they actually sent money to different wallets that just don't make sense as to where money should be sent to. So you can see right here, we have the original Binance Smart Chain scan information. And you can see right at the beginning, we have this token was first created, first set up, the total supply was sent into this wallet, and then they distributed it from there. First off, we have money going over to PancakeSwap. We're going to circle back to that, but that is 83% of the total supply. So it doesn't match any of the allocations. PancakeSwap should get 10%, not 83%. And then we have another allocation here for about 2% and another one for about 5%. And if we actually go in and click on these different ones where it's set to 2 and 5%, you can see these tokens are just sitting in these different wallets right now that could dump at any point in time. There's no set lock schedule for these. There's none of that information that I can see here. Now, if we circle back to where did this 83% of the total supply go, you can see went over to a PancakeSwap V2. And what's really interesting here, so 83% went in, and you might go ahead and look at the contract info and say, okay, so out of this Whales Club token, the top holders, we have just under 500 addresses that hold the token. Who holds the most? Well, you can see there's no wallets in here that hold 80% of the total supply. So you might be thinking, okay, what happened to this? 80% is supposed to be locked. Where do these tokens go? Well, actually, it was never really locked. At least the majority of it was never really locked. So when we actually go back to this PancakeSwap wallet, we can see something kind of interesting. So this 83% of total supply gets sent in, and you can see there's these buy orders. Right here is what I want to point out. So we have 18,399,999. We go to the next page, and we can see again, here we have another one for 18,399,999. Then we scroll down a little bit more, and you can see here's another one, 18,399,999 right behind me. And there's just some of these transactions that continue this trend, which is kind of weird. But most notably, you can see the amount went in. This wallet holds nowhere near that amount anymore. It's not in this wallet anymore. They sent the money into this wallet and it was actively bought and sold. You can see this amount right here. This is 1.8% of the total supply. Ended up getting bought in this transaction. And then again on those other transactions I showed you and other further transactions. But it's very clear that they said in their white paper, 80% was supposed to be locked. And it in fact was not, and people ended up going ahead and purchasing. Now they actually responded to this thread, and this is where, in my opinion, it gets so much worse, so much more shady. And they basically were talking some trash to us, but said, this is a proof, 80% is locked, and said that we need to learn how to do crypto research. You can see it says in the screenshot, LP locked 76.47%, which first of all is not 80%, but okay, let's roll with it and look at what they sent us here. If we open up this link, the numbers changed. So I'm gonna show you a screenshot I took the other day, but you can see the point here. They're showing this amount locked, and the screenshot I took the other day shows it a little bit better in my opinion. So what we can see here is very clear. So the amount locked on this page is 70.58 trillion, which is actually 7%, or roughly about 7% of the total supply. Now at the top, it's showing 76.47, which is what it masks out to, and that's what they're claiming here. But in reality, what they're doing is the number of this liquidity locked, this percentage, is the amount locked, so the 70.58 trillion, divided by the total liquidity amount, which is 92.29 trillion, equals 76.47% of that liquidity pool is locked, not of the total supply. That's not what their white paper said. It didn't say some percentage of the liquidity pool. It said 80% of all these tokens should be locked. I even highlighted that basically if I try and give them the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe this is the 10% that's allocated for PancakeSwap, as this is in a PancakeSwap liquidity pool, it should be 100 trillion, not the 70 trillion that's locked. 7 trillion is not 10% of 1 quadrillion. Like, that just, the math doesn't check out. And so they just tried to show this, but it looks even sketchier in my opinion. And so if we just look at the facts here, we should have 100 trillion of this token in this Uniswap liquidity pool. We don't have that amount. Instead, it was 830 trillion sent to Uniswap that then was bought and sold. Wasn't even locked there. We should have 80% that's locked somewhere else. It's not there. It's been distributed amongst a bunch of different wallets. People have bought and sold it. We don't know who holds it now. It's gone. It's out there in the open. They're trying to claim that 80% is locked away, which it just straight up isn't. The number isn't even 80%, let alone the fact that this is less than 1/10 of what it actually should be. And the sad thing at the end of the day is that this Luna Classic HQ account, they're shamelessly still promoting this Whales Club token, even though we pointed out some of these shady things that you guys could go ahead and see. You can check the blockchain. You can see this information by just looking for 5-10 minutes and see that they're using the funds in a way that doesn't match their tokenomics allocation, which is a major red flag. They're doing things that just don't make sense, which is a major red flag. They're using justifications that still don't make sense, don't add up. There's no justification for it. It's major red flags all around here. And instead of going, wait a second, what's going on here? They're still shamelessly promoting this account. And it's also really sad because with these engagement farming posts, we can hop over to Social Blade where you can see their follower growth. You can see in the past 30 days, they have gained over almost 8,000 followers. If we look at anyone else that outperforms anyone else in our space, we can look at Crypto King. He's gained about 2,600. You can look at LUNC DAO, one of the other biggest accounts. He's only gained 4,000. Any other account you can look at and think of, this account, this Luna Classic HQ, has gained more followers than any of them with their engagement farming. And instead of just engagement farming for the sake of engagement farming, they're engagement farming to send viewers, send our community to these tokens that are actively doing questionable and shady things. And so at the end of the day, it's really sad to see these accounts that don't actively participate in the community. They purely engagement farm. And I don't have anything against engagement farming of itself. I do it myself, but I also participate in the community. I'm also actively participating, engaging conversations. They don't do that. All they do is engagement farm and then promote these different cryptocurrencies that, whether they have ownership stake or not, these cryptocurrencies are doing questionable things. And it's very likely at the end of the day that our community, the Terra Luna Classic community, is going to be hurt by these things. If you guys found this video helpful, please share this video so other people can know and be aware to watch out for these different cryptocurrencies. And also, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out so much. You can check out this video up here. Maybe learn something you didn't know before, and I will catch you all in the next one.